Hey, do you feel like your days are unproductive or chaotic?
This is fine.
In this video, I'll show you exactly the system I use to stay productive, to stay on top of the goals.
Coke isn't cheap.
It's a simple tool. It's just basically Google Calendar. Simplify your schedule, boost productivity as well as focus. So quite simple. It's going to be like a 4 or 5 minute video. So let's go. Okay, let's get into it. I've made a quick document on this, and like usual, if you want the document itself, it's going to be the second link in the description. So feel free to take that. If you want to, you could just make a copy of it and just use it on your own. But basically it's like this. This is how my calendar looks. I'm going to show you exactly as well as the current one. This just was one I think we used in February. I made some tweaks, some updates to it. I want to show you exactly what those are. I'll just say this before we get straight into this as well, but this is more of a framework. I don't exactly follow this to a T because, life happens. Sometimes I have to deal with family. Sometimes I have some unexpected business calls, and this just takes me out of the loop. But one thing this is really, really super duper good for is if I'm procrastinating, I just take a look at my calendar and I know exactly what I should be doing and what I'm not doing, right? And then I can get back to the task at hand. So if you ever feel like you're lost in the sauce, just create something like this, set it up with Google Calendar. It's absolutely free. It takes basically like 30 minutes. If you are copying mine, it takes like 10. And this way you can stay organized and not procrastinate. That's really the best thing I've found work well for me, right? So don't stress about it if you cannot follow it exactly. I'm not one of those gurus who tells you need to do this. You need to wake up at 6 a.m., drink your coffee, do an ice bath. It's all of that is good and well, but it's not going to make you money. What's going to make you money is just doing more work. And if you're consistent and you know exactly what you need to get done, it's going to get you there a lot faster. So ultimately, cold showers and all of that stuff is fine, but if you don't do the work, nothing's going to get done. So this will ultimately just help you get more work done. So that's the whole point of it. A well-structured calendar is going to ensure that you know exactly what to do, when to do it. And yeah, like I said, just minimize the distractions and maximize your productivity. So I'm going to quickly walk you through on how you can set this up, but this is how my calendar used to look like when I was taking sales calls. This is how it looks like right now. I'll show you the changes I've made. Okay, so we briefly talked about this, but again, like, why does it matter? It's going to eliminate the decision fatigue. I think that's the worst thing that happens, is because, there's just so much on everyone's plates right now who's doing agency work, is you don't know what to do. Maybe you want to update the website. Maybe you want to update your script, your copy, whatever it may be. You don't know what to do next. You don't know which task is better in terms of like which is the most efficient to get started with. And you don't have a schedule to follow that. So also another thing is it prevents overbooking. So if you have it rightly configured, you're not going to talk to people when you're having lunch. It improves work-life balance, sure. The one thing it does really is just, it gives you time to work and time to relax, which charges up the battery. And, some people say, I work 7 days a week. I do as well, but not in the way that you would mostly explain. And I'll tell you exactly what I mean by that. Another thing is it just enhances the focus. So you can see exactly what you need to work. All right, just step one, connect and sync your accounts. Just go to Google Calendar. So come here. Click the gear icon. You can click here, click settings, and I'll show you a few settings you need to turn on. But basically just connect your calendar to whatever scheduling tool you're using. So Calendly as well as Zoom. I already have that done. If you need more help on that, I can make a guide on it, but it's very, very simple. You just go into Zoom or Calendly, just click sync, and that's pretty much it. And then you're going to see the meetings that happen right here. Right. Next is define your category. So what you want. For me, it's work, personal, appointments, learning, growth, rest, and recovery. And here's just some of that. I'll give you an example. So as you can see from, if you want to stalk me, this is not the exact calendar I use, but it's right up there. So 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. is when I sleep. That's the block I, just am totally off. And as you can see, I have a wind down 1 hour before bed, so I can just take my mind off of things. And how I start my day, it's just usually a morning routine. I take a shower, get ready, I sunbathe, stuff like this, and then I have a partner talk with my business partner Levi, and we always talk about, okay, what do we need to get done today to move closer to our goals, obviously, right? Which is obviously mainly scaling. And next, we always just do outbound. I take 2 hours just outbound, and then get some food in my system, then I focus on inbound. So that's really, even before 10 a.m. I get so much done in these 4 hours. And then I take a break. Obviously, like a meal is a break in and of itself, and you can make breakfast in like 30 minutes and eat it up. I usually do the Pomodoro method, which is like 1.5 hours work and then 30 minutes break. Usually take just 15, put on the slots for 30 minutes. Okay, then I have something called well, it depends on the day, right? I have something called either warm-up work or one of my gym sessions. So it could be I'm doing like chest, shoulders, or back, or full body. As well, I usually take sauna as well. My gym is pretty close, so don't take much time there. I usually am just spending like 1 hour there. Or I do warm-up work. So warm-up, if you're not familiar, I have already made a video on it. That's just basically the CRM I use. And every day I have some different tasks on it, and I just work on those tasks. So in this way, I'm always organized, and I'm not just gonna put like, hey, working on, posting content and stuff like this, because it's always changing. I just put here warm-up work, and, in this time period, I know exactly what I need to be doing because I already done outbound. I already got the inbound set up. So the content is there, and outbound just means basically, the systems are running. So the outreach is running, and I can get other tasks done. Like, for example, hiring more closers, hiring more setters, or just talking with the team in general, just a bunch of stuff, right? Like a lot of operational stuff. I think that goes on behind the scenes, right? So that's just pretty much it. You can set it up however you like. I used to have my closing spot between 2 to 7 p.m. when I was taking sales call. You can do that as well. I think I have it like, a photo of this here from 2 p.m. to, it was a little bit different to 9 p.m. I changed it around a bit because I go to sleep sooner. I go to sleep at 10 p.m. This time I used to go at 11, so just so I can like wake up sooner. But the point is, like, at the end of the day, I always check on the team, check on the closers, how many deals we got closed. If there's something wrong with a client, then I know we can focus like energy and just resources on them the next day, right? And then I always take 30 minutes with Levi just to plan out the next day. And then again, we talk about it. Okay, what we need to get done. Same thing in the evening, just basically like brainstorm for 30 minutes. We have a giant ass whiteboard, and just we talk about like what we need to get done the next day. And then in the morning, we just, okay, wake up and agree, okay, this is what we talked about, let's get this done, right? And that's pretty much it. It is very, very simple. And I take an hour to bind down, usually just some like Family Guy or something to get my mind off, and then I can just go straight to sleep. And that's pretty much it. There's nothing really complicated about this. I don't do anything crazy, but if you can like just follow this, it is going to help you so much. And it is a little different on the weekends. That's when I shoot my content for YouTube. I usually am like 2-3 weeks ahead of times when it comes to scheduling. And then I just check like some miscellaneous stuff like planning the next week, checking on the team. That's a little bit of a longer time, as well as checking on the clients. And again, just the gym session. And on Sundays, usually I'm out and off to church, something like this, something, just to recharge the batteries. And, I'm never really off of work. I always check what's going on. You can never really be off work, but I tend to, just take it a little bit lightly. And I do recommend for you to do it as well. Just go on walks. That's when my best ideas came from, is when I went on long walks, right? Because nature sort of has that effect on you where it brings out your creative side, right? That's basically like, again, like where my best ideas came from is when I went alone on long walks in the park, in the mountains, on some hill, right? And that's when you can really think. Just leave your phone at home and literally just go out for a walk for an hour. I know it might sound a little bit stupid, it might sound a little bit like too simplistic, but we're so distracted with our devices just working all day, is you have no time to think. And if you can just allow yourself to escape into nature, that's really when the best ideas come from. I don't do any like meditation stuff like this. A lot of people do. I just wake up and I just sunbathe and look at the sun and no screen, and just think about like, okay, what I need to get done. And usually it ends up being a productive day. But here again, just some tips if you need help on scheduling this. Just put it into written form as well if you're not following the video, just the guide. And again, just color code it however you like. This is what I prefer. You can just change the colors, as you can see here, and just click here. If you want to how I set it into this color, well, it's a little bit of a different story. You can set up custom colors as well. If you, for example, let's say you want to create something, let's just do this. And as you can see, there's only a few colors available, but you can do a custom color if you just set it up in a different calendar and just invite yourself to it. So for example, that as you can see, this is the tasks I have. Like these are all different calendars. This is why I'm able to have custom colors. So if you want to do it, you can definitely pick like any color you want. The reason I pick like non-distracting ones for the non-obvious ones, the non-important ones, is because I can focus on the ones that are important. And I just, know exactly, like green is warm up, right? Blue or this like purplish color is inbound, and orange is just the outbound. Very, very simple, right? So that's pretty much it. I would say you can just structure it however you want. You can set up automations. I don't bother with that. And again, like always this calendar changes because my schedule changes. So this was the video. All you need to do if you want to create something like this is just set up these little calendars that build on top of itself. And as you can see, you can toggle them off, you can toggle them on, and every day you can even download the app as well. And you can see, okay, it's 11 a.m. I need to be doing inbound, right? Etc. So it just basically helps you keep accountable, right? That's the whole point. I hope this video helped. If it did, just shoot me a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.